Fabulous. So welcome to another installment of Exploring Consciousness with the Earth Nouveau Hub. We've already settled nicely around the fire, and we're just going to see what really comes through today, as we talk about choice. Now, to set the choice, to set the coin, I think choice, why did it come up today is because choice is the most basic tool of consciousness, and choice is also the most difficult tool of consciousness. And I think, why do I say difficult? It's just because we're actually we're not growing up with it on a very aware basis. We're actually not being taught what choice creates, what choice actually is. What we are being brought up with is right and wrong. And right and wrong has nothing to do with choice, right? So I've just chosen to turn this off here, and it's still beeping, which is freaking me out. Airplane mode. Yeah. So this is the interesting thing. So what does choice create? Reality. Choice creates reality. Choice is the tool to express consciousness, for consciousness to get to know itself through physical manifestation, because every choice creates possibilities, and then the possibilities create physical manifestation. But also in the unseen world, there is still a level of choosing. And then, our topic is choice creates, and also the shadow of choice creates too. Now, what is the shadow of choice? Is non-choice. So non-choice equally creates. Non-choice often creates unawareness. And every single choice that we have made in the past, in the present, in the future, we are right now here the result, the sum total of all those choices that we've ever made in this ever-present moment now. Which means that whatever we don't like about this us here right now, and the surroundings, the environment that we have created, there must have been a choice we have made, or a sum of choices that we have made, that still lock us into that creates that. So when we talk about choice, we have to very simply go back to the basics, saying that we create our reality. We create our bodies, as we know, through the genetics, which is the memory, the 80 plus minus %, and then the vibration, the frequency, the harmony, the contracts, spiritual contracts that we've got ourselves into. So actually, let's do something. Let's take a moment here and put part of yourself into the North Pole with your ancestors. And then put part of yourself into the South Pole with your ancestors of the future. So the North Pole, ancestors of the past. South Pole, ancestors of the future. And then just get a reading in no time now. Just get a frequency reading of yourself, of all the choices that you have made. And then just see what you get. And you might get an energy. See if you can get an energy, a symbol, a color, whatever that is. Bring those together. Bring the past, the future, and the now together. All those choices that you've made in awareness and in unawareness. That you are right here, right now. And then just see what frequency reading, what frequency, what word, what energy pops. And then feel open to share the word that comes up. And don't worry about the words that, you know, the word salads that we know through all the teachings that we've accumulated and everything. It could be just a very simple, any word. It could be, doesn't have to be a significant word, a fancy word. So my word is color. Multi-colors. I can't even say one color. It's color, colorful.
I was getting colors too. For me, green and turquoise and almost like I don't know, like the color of a storm was coming up.
Mm-hmm. An intense force, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
But also healing, a lot of healing energy.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
My color was white,
Mm-hmm.
which is all the colors.
Right?
Yeah. So that was, and I just saw white hair. Like, I don't know. It was just, I saw myself, you know, just not albino, but almost, you know, kind of like very translucent.
And wise, white, gray hair, wise.
Well, oh yeah.
Ancient.
Yay. Yeah.
Anyone else? Irina?
Yes, hi everyone. For me it was pearl, like almost rainbow, but in white. And it was joy,
Mm-hmm.
almost like bliss.
Cool. Tom?
So for me, it was warmth.
Mm-hmm. Very cool. What other energies, what other frequencies came through here?
So for me, I got the word contrast, but I didn't get a particular color. So it would probably mean every color. So just an amalgamation of everything.
For me, I saw, so I like to divine the directions. I love to divine everything, but like, you know, having my hands facing towards the north and the south and feeling the energies, and all I see is like a, you know, like a vortex or a planet. And then there's like this surge of like white or gold energy, just like hitting it like a sun, and just getting a lot of energy from the north, and it's not really coming too much from the south right now. But I just see like this thing is surging from the north, and that's what I'm seeing right now.
Very cool. Thank you. So what is choice? Choice is the source of creation. Like we said, it is the tool for consciousness. So everything that you guys just mentioned is part of that soup of creation. Nikolai is saying healer came up for me, north and south, no colors. Yeah. So there's a million ways to where we can take this. Yeah. Let's look at, I've read something. It's the more aware, because for me, consciousness is choice. Yeah. So consciousness is awareness. For me, when I talk about consciousness, I also talk about awareness, and it includes everything and judges nothing. And the choice is very much connected to has a huge relationship with receiving. You know, we've often talked about receiving. Are you willing to receive? You know, so often choice is very much portrayed as is a doing. Every time you choose something, you have to do something, right? Now, I'd like to look at that from a slightly different perspective. Yes, that is one part, but you can also choose to be something. There's one question I'm asking myself over the last couple of days now. Okay, so this is it. I also need to raise the subject of the tool of choice. Yeah. And it, of course, it leads me back to my Access days, you know. The question, a real good question, creates an awareness. And again, a good question that's coming from awareness and not from a conclusion is an open question. So often, you know, those questions that we ask that come from a place of conclusion, that already, you know, incorporates the answer. This is not what we're interested in. Yeah, we're interested in really big open questions like, what is this? What can I do with this? What choice is required for me to create what I desire? What do I desire? Yeah, and things like that. So these are the things as soon as we conclude something, we are actually eradicating the infinity of possibilities. Yeah. Now, in order to manifest, we have to choose something, right? To bring it into manifested, you know, matter. But having said that, the level of awareness that we have now is that we always know as soon as we choose something, an infinite amount of possibilities comes up. And then, you know, that choice again, that one choice creates many more choices and more choices and more choices. And who says we can only choose one thing, right? And also, who says we can only choose once? We can choose in 10-second increments. The main thing is to acknowledge that you have choice. And the only time you have choice is when you get out of resistance, when you get out of judgment. So the antidote to choice is judgment. And resistance is part of judgment. So before I carry on blabbering on here, what does any of that bring up? Or what does that inspire you to add? So when I say judgment is the antidote of choice, can you relate to that? Have you had instances where you've perceived that?
Okay, so I was thinking, I don't know what you said before that, but you said, who says we can only choose once? Well, that was like, as a child, I mean, come on. I never thought that I could have many choices as a child, you know, because it always was like this or this, this or this, this or this. And I don't know, it just like took me back. It was like, whoa. And you know, it wasn't until late in life that I thought, no, there's many more choices. And if I make that choice, I can change it. I never thought I could change my choices. I thought, nope, you got to stick with this. You got to, you chose it. So, wow, this is just really, this is cool.
It's also, I like you going straight into that, because I think from the childhood perspective, choice, we never used the word choice, or maybe some did. I certainly didn't come from that place. It was more like decision, make a decision. And the decision was literally the conclusion, which was the limitation. Because once you decided something and you realized afterwards, oh, that's actually not working for me, it doesn't really make me happy, there was no more choice. to choose something else because you had to persevere. You had to, no gain, no pain, all that bullshit, you had to just get on with it.
Yeah, I love that word decision, because that's exactly what it was.
Mm.
It was like, I remember deciding what to do when I went to college, and it was like, oh, I don't really like this, but I stuck it out because, we gotta stick it out, gotta suffer through it.
Mm.
And, because that gets you somewhere when you suffer. Not really, but that's how you were kind of brought up.
And
I never thought,
yeah, sorry to interrupt. You go.
No, I just thought at 18 or 19, you're making this decision.
Mm.
Like, it's preposterous. And thinking you have no choice to change it.
Yeah. And even then, if you would have had the awareness or the possibility to know that you could still stay there as long as you chose it, you know what I mean? You could still say, oh, I'm actually choosing it. So think of the energy when you say, okay, now I can't get out, I'm stuck. Now it's like, no, I don't necessarily like it that much, but I'm still choosing it. So, okay, that's a totally different energy. It's a bit like, to give you an example, I had this now with my daughter. She just started a job a month ago, and day 2, she knew it wasn't going to be for her. Yeah. And then she got into, oh my God, I can't just get out now, and I don't have another job, and and all of this. And I said to Emma, I said, look, it's just a choice. Yeah. You can choose something different. You can choose to stay there for a little while and see, what else is there to learn, even though you might not like it. There's always something to learn, right? And as long as you know that you are just choosing it on a day by day, on a moment to moment basis, you can't feel trapped. You're not feeling trapped, right? Until you just know you have to get up and choose something else. But it's so interesting what comes up. And even she has no pressure at all, because she's obviously created herself a reality with the parents that she's chosen and with the situation that we're in, that she can get out without having a job for a month or not. There is no pressure as such, but the pressure came from herself. She pressurized herself, and then she hated herself because she knew that it wasn't something that she actually enjoyed. So this was all going on in her own little head.
Well, right, but the pressure, that was me too. My parents didn't put pressure on me. It was just, go to school and, decide what you want to do. They didn't tell me what to study or anything like that. But but like Emma, she knows that. I had no awareness. I see people changing their studies all the time, but it never occurred to me, Amy, you can change your study. So like, she has that awareness.
Yeah. What else can
that's kind of cool with the younger kids coming up in.
It was very interesting because the way I talk to her is in the new paradigm. I talk to her in the new paradigm, the jargon and the possibilities and the questions and all of that. And yet, of course, genetically, she still carries the imprint of her ancestors, including the shit that I went through to a certain extent, And it's quite interesting to see that, even though I give her the possibilities of choice. It's interesting how she still at times reverts back to what's innately in her, It's really, really interesting. And then when I look at it, it's like, and this is so interesting because the energies are always there. But then the question is how quickly you get out of it. It only took her a month. If I remember the jobs that I stayed in, hating them, hating myself for hating it and staying in it. It took me years to get out, you know? So for me, it's such a joyful thing to see how choice creates and what it creates. And the amazing thing is, as she started yesterday, actually, she chose to put in her resignation, and the ripple effect of the true choice that she made, yeah, it came from the heart. She had tears, you know. She said, "Mama, I cried. It's so embarrassing." I said, "You have no idea the authenticity of you making that choice so beautifully from the heart had such a ripple effect for so many other people." So choice creates, and not just for ourselves. When we choose from an authentic place, we move mountains. And we don't even know. We don't even remember, or we don't even think most of the times what it creates in the unseen, right? Because all our aspects, you know, shards, parts, avatars, you know, as we're choosing for them, with them, as them. And all those shards, parts, and avatars, they're all different potentialities, right? So we, as the beacon of light, that, you know, sum total of all choice, as we're choosing that marker point in time, right? We are choosing for them and as them, in communion with them.
So my question is, so in a way, I did make a choice to stay, right? And follow through with whatever that was, but that was with unawareness of that there was another choice.
Mm-hmm.
So then, doesn't that kind of like, I don't know, I get kind of cute. Is it like the path that I chose to stay there? That's the path I chose. And, you know, sometimes we can, I don't know if it's trick ourselves, but think, well, that's the path I chose. So, you know, I was supposed to do that. I was supposed to become that. Does that make sense?
Absolutely love that, especially when you start your spiritual journey. Yeah, we often forget that us choosing is the most spiritual thing you can ever do. Yeah, everything else is victimhood, waiting for the angels to make the choices for you. Nobody makes the choices for you. You, the spiritual being, makes the choice. And I continuously fall into that trap as well. It's like, it's not meant to be. It's not. No, it's not meant to be. No, you haven't chosen it, right? For what reason haven't I chosen it? Not because it's not meant to be. Maybe it's just not right for this moment in time, right? Because what you do when you say, it's not meant to be, it's not my path, it's not my destiny. Well, you sit back and say, hey, I do not create this reality. My destiny does for me, the purpose, right? No. This is where we're talking embodied spirituality. Can't just sit back and say somebody else is choosing for us. You are the choosing one, for you and as you. Tom, you got something on your mind?
Yeah. I've been reading AB's book, and he talks about, on page 70 to be exact, he talks about the other parallel parts of ourselves. There could be up to 50, and they influence our choices. So, hey, that sounds like quite a heavy thing.
Well, they influence our choices if we allow it, if we choose to allow it. All right.
Mm-hmm.
However many parts and aspects are there, we are going for non-competition, non-hierarchy. We're going for union and communion. This is the whole part. This is the whole work of this understanding of our aspects. We have to work together. And yes, there are lots of parts out there that literally choosing against us. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. But this is part of where we need to go into the sovereignty teaching, the self-mastery teaching. You've got to, you know, as far as I'm concerned, I have a daily practice now, until I don't do it anymore, but I'm kind of, you know, devoted at the moment, where I kick all those guys that think they can choose without me knowing, without my awareness. I kick them out. I pop them, I heal them, I let them go. And it's masses of them that keep popping on a daily basis, and it's like, okay, fuck it, you know, I'm out of here. La 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 la. You know.
So how do you become aware of those parts?
May I say?
Go ahead, and then go ahead, Arina. Yes, how do you come aware of them?
Yeah, being practical, I was trying to connect dots in all these big pictures that Andrew put for us and other teachers. So there is a connection between those choices we are making unconsciously and part of our psyche that we call inner child. As you remember, inner child, that part of us that is in essence joy and bliss and that exploration energy. I want to do it. I want to try it. This is what I want to look at and be part of. From all those teachers, I recognize child, this is that part that is holding the judgment. I call it charge, judgment on experience. Whenever we did something in our past or parallel, it doesn't matter where you are, how you look at this. If you were in this duality in relation to experience, that color that you put, I did something wrong, or I did something good, this is what going on, that joy of child. And child, this is, I call it a bridge. In my exploration, it's a bridge between personality and higher self. If you can talk about those, your subtle parts as higher self, because we have connection from personality to higher self, then again higher self, until that entire expansion to universe. So when we come to moment to keep the child without charge, and it's very easy to do. When you recognize I'm kind like not happy with my choice, it means in some your past experience of this life or previous lives, you made a choice, but not of your choice. So you had to do that. And child holding that coloring, that shadowing on a child's joy. So you can't remember, you can't reach to you higher self to remember what you planned really for yourself. If you work with child at that moment when you recognize, yes, you cancel those contracts that holding you in that experience even in this life. And then you work with child, just asking, connecting with that part, and it's easy to do. And just ask child, okay, please, I love you so much. Just let go of the charge and let us remember our bliss and being in that vibration of creation that is that bliss. It's vibration of creation, joy. You can reach to you, your plans, and look what you really want to choose. Then you kind like empty, not empty, you make your way to state when you really connected to authentic you, not with those charges that is coloring us, that Andrew call guilt, blame, shame, saying obligation, all that stuff, domination, control, all those. I need, not I want, I desire, but I need.
Okay, fantastic. I love that. Love that. So basically, what you just said here, if I understood that correctly, was leading us back to the joy, making choice from a place of joy, right? Now, let me use the same concept here and put it in different words slightly, yeah? So to going back to Tom's question, how do we know when somebody else is making decisions? How do we know when we're not in that place of childlike joy and bliss, right? So let's look at the difference between awareness and judgment. Because when you're in full awareness, no judgment, then you have full awareness what's going on with all the aspects, yeah? But when there's judgment, the difference between judgment and awareness is an energetic, just like Irina said, the blame, shame, guilt, and all of that. When there is an energy that comes up that makes you resist, that makes you find a justification for your choices, that makes you find a reason for your choices, that makes you find a way to explain to others why you're choosing it, yeah? All of that is a place, and you're choosing from a place of judgment. And now the question is, who are you going to justify it to? Is it people around you with bodies, or is it the parts, shards, avatars that, you know, that don't have bodies? Everywhere there is judgment present, you know that something is interfering. Yeah. Be this now your own parts, or be this now, you know, your environment or other people's realities that you are trying to copy or that you're trying to live up. That's why I said the antidote of choice, of true, blissful, childlike choice, joyful choice, is judgment. And when you know that you judge is when you start, well, you find a reason, everything, all these things that I've just said, then it's no longer a choice, and you're trying to justify, you're making something significant. Now, what do we do with that, Tom, and everyone else? What do we ask a question? Now, let's say you're choosing something, right? If I choose to do the Zoom today, am I choosing for me and as me? Ask the question and see what comes up. If there's just like, there's no aligning, agreeing, resisting, reacting, yes, I have to do it because, you know, we've done it so long now that I you know, it's my responsibility as this and that. And, you know, no, I'm just choosing it because it's fun, it's joyful. And I know myself well enough. I'm a rebel. And I used to not like my rebel. But I've become to recognize the potency of having that rebel energy. Because rebel just means trusting my own knowingness when something works and when something doesn't. Just because other people perceive that as rebels, as rebel, doesn't mean that this is really who I just know what works for me and what doesn't, right? It was just the environment that I had chosen in the beginning, very much in the beginning, where everything I did do became through as like this. Oh, you're choosing against us. I wasn't choosing, you know. So let's get back to Tom. Does that make any sense? What Irina said and what I said.
Yeah, I think there's, well, yeah, what you're saying gives a clue. There's a possibility to mix this up with some childhood conditioning. So there's like perhaps two different aspects there.
Is it two different ones, or is it just something we can't actually separate?
Maybe.
Because lots of the aspects we're talking about, those, you know, I ams or other, you know, shards, parts, and avatars, are the unhealed versions of ourselves that actually influence us in making choices because they need to be healed first. Self-mastery, sovereignty.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the trick, you know, to find out, is this an unhealed version of myself that is trying to tell me what to do? And then what do I do with this? And I literally, as an entity facilitator, what I do, I literally just, I just line them up. Guys, okay, line them up. So what's going on? And this is purely an imaginary process, right? You make it up, yeah? I line them up in line and say, okay, so what do you guys want? Who needs to? Most of the, also the thing is, not everything is a shard of you. Yeah. Remind yourself, the more you become aware, the more light you carry, the more you attract. Also, there's one of the things in the books, you know, when you start reading about the demons and, you know, all those entities, quite interesting to look at that too. And lots, a majority is actually just ghosts floating around, just beings without bodies. Yeah.
So when you say you line them up, are you visualizing them?
Yep. I just say, okay, so I always, the way I work is like more than 50, less than 50, more than 50, less than 50. And then just like, okay, you know, you do it quickly. You don't go into, oh my God, start counting them. You're going to go crazy. Yeah. More than 500. Yeah. And say, okay. So first, the first bunch, just leave. Get out of my field. You can use your own jargon. You can go back to whence you came from. You know, that's one of the things. And then you already got a different, you know, amount of them there, and you will perceive it physically. Yeah. So you're making it up, but the change physically, you will perceive it, right? And then you just, you know, and then you have a conversation. Just have a conversation. So next, so who wants to step forward? What's going on? Are you in competition? Are you in hierarchy? What's going on? And then see what they say, or, you know, and things like that. So what can you and then you have this conversation, ask them a question. They haven't been asked a question for a long time. Just, what kind of contribution do you want to be to me? What can we do? What can we choose together? Again, this is very much in the topic of choice, because the question precedes choice, because the question opens up a new level of awareness. When we say make it up, what we're actually saying is, through the question of asking our unseen, we are creating them. Now, what is creation? We are remembering them. We are actualizing them. Yeah. When we say we make it up, well, where does it come from? Right? From our imagination. Well, what does that mean? What is our imagination? It's pure fucking spirit that we are actualizing. And then you just treat those parts just like you would be treating a mate. And just have a conversation, you know? What else can you choose? What can we choose?
Is there an element of healing in this process? You ask them what they need.
Absolutely, yeah. Back to the childhood thing, because lots of them are obviously not just in this lifetime childhood shards. You know, as soon as you actually just acknowledge that they're there, you already have a healing, because you're bringing them into the awareness, into your awareness, right? And even if they're bastards, yeah. Judgment, there's no judgment. Awareness includes everything, yes, because we have bastard, you know, versions of ourselves too. But those guys, you just say, okay, look, no longer working for me. Not in this lifetime. Not in my I am avatar presence anymore. Yeah. And that's the sovereignty, and but that is choice too. It's choice to use your imagination. And it's not an easy choice. Because people say, oh, that's just fucking crazy, this bitch. Who are you talking to now? Well, it's just a choice, right?
So some parts may choose not to cooperate, perhaps.
Absolutely right. And if you got those guys, you know, you just ban them from your existence and say, look, you either cooperate or you get the hell out. Send them into the void space. Coming back to the potency teaching, you have that potency, yes? It's another choice.
May I say?
Yes.
In my practice, I recognize different kind of ancestors, because choice, influenced choice, it is ancestral connections. And ancestors are us. It's the same soul or soul family with who we were co-creating. So in all of your ancestors that you kind like connected, you have soul spark that you have inside of you. It is from the same spirit, the same soul, but different experience with different personality. And my understanding this end time incarnation that we are all in, some of us was delegated by entire soul family and our entire experience to be on earth, alive, breathing, to collect those soul sparks, to collect those experiences. So you can look at everything that you are choosing or you would choose with this point of view. If I don't like, but it is hanging above me and I all the time encountering that kind of experience, this is possibility that in your past as ancestor, you had that experience, but it wasn't fulfilling, it wasn't done, it wasn't finished. You still have that judgment about that experience that you today can recognize through encountering that choice. So
I love that.
Yeah, I divide that ancestral connection usually in 4, but 2 major. One, ancestral connection, my experience in past, a soul experience that I already recognize, and that me in that life, not fighting with me today, not influencing me to be doing something under pressure. Those ancestors just waiting from us to integrate that experience. It's so easy to do. Like Martina said, you just look when you recognize experience, you just look into your past and you see like a scoop, like totality of those ancestral experiences connected to what you recognize now. And I just simply invite them in to reconnect because they don't fight. They're already ready to reconnect with me. There are some ancestors with me as soul in this, connected to this personality. And it's not coming from ego, it's coming from the totality of soul experience. Another part of ancestral experience, like you already described, guys, this is that those ancestors, that me who want to rule my experience and direct my experience without recognition that it is my experience. It's not helpful connection. It is kind of like dominative connection. Yes, it can show me some interesting spots, interesting experiences, but I don't feel that I'm choosing. It's under the pressure. Some ancestors fighting with me. They don't even want to recognize me having experience. They oppose the continuation of their experience on what I am choosing, I am doing in this life. So those really, you just thank you very much. If you want to continue what you want to continue, I'm allowing you to go and have your experience form from that spark another being and have that experience. I can really disconnect, like we already know from teachings. You just separate and you allow. This is hardest part because soul doesn't want to lose that spark. And you can feel like it's something, you cut your finger or you cut your, but this is what you need to do with recognition. It is free will place. And that birth of new possibilities invited in this place. So it can be something interesting for consciousness to explore. You just need to let go.
Yes. Now let me stop you there because there's a couple of things I need to add to this now. Yeah. First of all, you mentioned the word delegate. I'm a delegate. We are all delegates. We have been delegated, chosen, yeah, within our soul family to be here now. Free choice. Now, that doesn't mean that any of the other charts Irina was mentioning that, that are now fighting us, they could have chosen that too, right? But they haven't. Okay? Really, really important. It's not that we are the super duper, because we are the chosen one. No, we went through the fucking work to do it. Yes? Yes?
Yes,
Everyone
yes.
had the choice. Let me just finish that, Irina. Yeah? Otherwise I'll lose my thought here. So they had the choice too, but we chose it, yes, to put the work in. So this is why we can say, now, look, Schnooky, you haven't chosen it, not in this lifetime. So this is just the way it is, right? It's my way now or the highway. Yeah? Work with me or get the hell out of my field. That's the choice we've made on some level. They've made on some level. And this is where this comes in. Now, there was something else I was going to say to that.
May I add to this your thought? It's not just was because we choose to be here because we could. We were match of vibration of this experience that entire creation going through. Those our parts will not match.
Yeah, because we put the work in. Okay.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
Why do we match? Because we put the work in. It's not the first time we've been here. Yeah. So this is like, you got to look at the long time agenda here. So we deserve to be here. Yeah. We worked for it. So we have chosen it. Right. And anyone else can choose it too. But also there's one thing we need to add. Not everyone is going to ascend, right? Not everyone has chosen it. We forget that sometimes. Yeah. It's okay. Why do we say it's our birthright? Well, because it is. And we have chosen it. Not everyone has. This is where choice comes back to all of that. Yeah. And that's an active choice, right? Tanya.
So one of the things that I see that I've seen with myself and also my clients is that when we have ancestors and soul family who are trying to influence us and control our choices in this moment of now, one of the things that I've seen a lot is that those ancestors aren't crossed over, right? They're still hanging out in like that upper third, lower fourth dimensional astral plane for whatever reason, because of fear, because of doubt, because of things they've done in their life. And the way that it looks to me when I'm working on someone is it almost looks like they clamp onto that DNA strand, and sometimes they're bound around it. So they're like standing firm in your energy field and aren't flexible, and then trying to influence the way that the individual is moving, in this moment of now. So one of the techniques that I use is just opening a portal to the higher frequency dimensional reality and encouraging that being to move to whatever density they need to move to, but get the F out of this one.
Yes.
Yeah. And I found that to be very,
Yes.
very effective for the individuals I work with and for myself.
Absolutely. It's very empowering for the individual, because you empower the individual to do it with the person. You don't just do it for them. You take them through the process. And the other thing is, we say, those are vampires, energy vampires, right? And this is not a judgment. This is an awareness. They're not doing it because they're nasty pieces of shit. So most of them don't even know what they're doing. And I like what you just said, because, emotions, yes, this is the realm of true emotions, but, emotions don't just go away in the other realms. They're much, much less significant. But I often say, I go just because somebody crosses over is not all of a sudden illuminated and knows everything and has learned it. No, they're just still some are still such idiots that they've been while they were here. It all comes down to choice, right? And this is the one thing when you have chosen to be here, you deserve it. You really worked for it. So
May I say?
keep choosing it. Arina, yeah.
I love, Tanya, what you just said. Wonderful. This is what actually gives you that glimpse, can give everyone who understands what you just said, that glimpse that those hanging us, ancestors, kind like knocking on your door all the time. But if you look deeper, you can recognize for what reason they are knocking into your door. What I recognize, if I don't fight with them, if I don't see them as white or black, like that limitation duality experience that we all finishing now, who can, someone will do it later, or in different circumstances. If you don't fight with them, if you see them as part of creation of that duality limitation experience, white or black, they actually waiting for us to acknowledge their experience without judgment. If you take that experience as part of your soul experience, and like you said, you open that portal, taking that this is that healing, they just ready and happy to go. They don't fight with you if you don't fight with them.
Yeah, we can do a whole, you know, Zoom on this. You know, there's so many things they want, they don't want, you know, and things like that. And sometimes I always say just perceive them as anyone else with a body. Yeah, some of them just want a hug. Okay. Now, sometimes when you do work with those entities, with those ancestors, whatever you want to call them, and you get really intense energy, then they give you some, you know, pushback, you know, then you have to sometimes get a bit more authentic and, you know, abrasive, if that is a word. Yeah, I think so. And they will go. And sometimes they need a hug and they just need your forgiveness. And remind yourself, I mean, we're talking as if they were separate from us. No, these are unhealed parts of us too, right? It's just nice to use the dissociation technique because these parts have become dissociated after so many lifetimes, right? It's not just the technique we're using. They really do have, they're no longer part of us in that harmony and working together. No, they have become really outside of ourselves in a way. But it's that invitation to bring them back in. And if they don't want to come in, well, then fuck off. Good. Maybe another lifetime or not. So let's do something. I'm going to ask a question. So are you willing? And all I want you to do is not necessarily answer, as we know by now. I've said it 1,000 times in so many shows. Not about answering. It's about get the awareness. What comes? So are you willing to accept? Because lots of those parts have potentials, right? And this is why we are interested in bringing them in. Are you willing to accept the potential of the unresolved aspects of yourself that are waiting to be integrated? Are you willing to choose that? And it's such a big question. But what comes up right now? Are you willing to choose that? Or do you get 1,000, you know, no, I can't do this, and that's too dangerous, and that's not right, and that's not wrong, and they don't deserve it. Yeah, and all of that. So everything that comes up that starts arguing with you, that starts resisting that process, that throws you into judgment instead of staying in pure awareness, can we destroy and uncreate that? Good. And as we do that, how many popped already, right? Just by asking that question. All we did was ask the question, which came with the choice, not just for us. They had a choice they didn't have before we asked the question, because they didn't even know there was such a possibility. Question, choice, possibility. Whenever you get stuck, you ask a question that opens up again. And sometimes, are you willing to choose something without knowing what the outcome is? Because that's true choice. True choice is choosing something that doesn't necessarily make sense. People can't reason with. You can't reason with yourself. It just feels appropriate at the time. And then allow that choice to show you the possibilities and the awareness over time. It doesn't take long nowadays. Yeah. Just keep asking the question like a mantra, make it into your mantra. If I choose this, what is it going to create? If I choose this, what is it going to create? Or if I want to create this, what do I do? What's the next choice that I'm supposed to be choosing? And then what you do, you destroy and uncreate, or whatever you want to use, release, uncreate, destroy. I'm so into destroy and uncreate from Access, but you can use something else, release, purify, whatever. Anything that doesn't allow me to choose that with total ease, right? And the amazing thing is, and this is what we're looking after now really, is because we're on the edge, right? On the edge of unknowingness. So if we choose something and we already know the outcome, it's probably not the right choice. The right choice is not even a good way. It's probably not the choice that could create the most, right? Because we're not looking for right or wrong. We've really gone beyond this now. We're looking for what choice can I choose here that creates the most. Whatever comes up that doesn't allow me to do that, destroy and uncreate. Pot and pock, pot and pock, pot and pock. Which again, that's a clearing statement of Access. You can look it up if you want to. So, how many choices have you made in the last week that were based on other people's realities and not for you and as you? More than 50 or less than 50? More than 50 or less than 50? Quick answer, more than 50 or less than 50? I'd say less than 50, but certainly have, yes. And why? For what reason? Because we are trying to please people because we can. Do you know what I mean? Is this a kindness, or is it just, But then again, has it really created for us? Or has it created something for somebody else? And is now the time to choose for us, not for others. Anything that doesn't allow that, can we destroy and uncreate that? Are we the bloody leaders or not? Individual journey. It's like Emma, I can't leave now, it's like, I can't do this to them. Jesus Christ, who's made you the savior of this bloody company? It's falling apart before you even stepped into this through the door. No, old Marta. Woof, 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 woof. Can't do Marta. Not in this reality. Not in the multidimensionally reality. Everything we're doing now here, think multidimensionally. You might no longer martyr yourself in this reality that much, but how much are you martyring yourself for your bloody aspects?
How about even like when you said that about Emma, like even the choice to go back to comfort. Sometimes we choose for the comfort of knowing what it's going to be. And maybe you already said this, but many times I've gone back to that, knowing, oh, it'll be comfortable without stepping out of the box.
Do you know what? When it comes to comfort, destroy and uncreate that energy. It makes no fucking sense whatsoever.
No, it doesn't. It
Comfort
doesn't.
zone does not create that. 1,000 other energies. When you go into comfort zone, definitely look into it. Say, hey, what is this? If I choose comfort, what am I creating in my reality?
It's like Groundhog Day.
Yeah. Comfort is a very old energy. Give ourselves, choose a different energy for comfort. We say it all the time, right? Joy, ease. But comfort is always, I don't know what comfort is. Comfort is an old energy. But it's good. It's good that you mention it. Fantastic. Because every time you do comfort zone, it's like, no, this is like, oh, let me sit back doing nothing. I'm the victim here. Comfort's comfortable. Just call it relax. I'm relaxing now. Yeah. It's a very much an active energy. I'm choosing to relax now. Or instead of okay, look, this is nitpicking now, but this is just me looking at the words. Yeah. If comfort works for you, then choose it. But no, yeah. But there's another word which always compromise. Yeah. What the hell? What is compromise? What choice? What does compromise create? One of whoever is part of that compromise has to limit oneself in order to make the other one feel better or equally happy. No, it doesn't work that way. No more compromise. Yeah. This is if I choose this, am I choosing this for me and as me? And if that person can't hack it, that you are starting to choose for you and as you, then there are other choices. You know what I mean? But the compromise is always a limitation on some level. We are empowerers. I don't see myself as a teacher, to be honest. I see myself more as an empowerer. I'm a facilitator. So I don't tell people what to do. I just, inspire them maybe with the things that I've learned that worked for me. There's a hell of a lot that I have learned through trial and error, through choice and no choice. Now, no choice, right? Same thing, tacit consent. There's no such thing. Choice is the tool for consciousness. There's no such thing as you're not choosing. If you're not choosing, you're still choosing. The non-choice still creates, right? We're not going to get out of this. Yeah. The non-choice just throws us into this unawareness. It's like, I didn't know. Well, this reality, you create your reality. What do you mean you didn't know? Did you ask the question?
May I return to what Amy just brought with that comfort zone?
Yes.
Or return to comfort? In my recognition, very often when we start to desire or imagine that it would be so nice to sit somewhere, to relax, very often this is our inner child part delivering that message to personality to work on some kind of rest that you need. It can be very short time, like getting massage, going to take a bath or something else, and it would be enough. You don't need to go. You won't have those even thought anymore. You will just fulfill all nutrition. You need change your nutrition just to feel your physical existence with what you need, what will serve you to continue in your exploration direction. So it can be just a thing that you need to give to you here in physical reality, and you won't even think about that comfort zone anymore. It can be that simple.
Yeah. So again, it's choosing to rest. It's choosing to relax. It's choosing comfort zone. Is if you want to choose comfort zone, choose it too. Yeah, but know what you're doing. It's just because it's just a collective consciousness. Yeah, we gotta be careful not to tacitly consent to the collective, the way the collective perceives certain things, and brings it together. For me, this is just, maybe it's nitpicking, but you know what I mean. So back to creation. I was going to say, we talked about tacit consent. We all know what that is, right? So there is this continuous, perpetual choosing. What if everything in our lives becomes a choice? Everything we say, even like, I didn't think now, but let's say you do a presentation or something, and you have a whole bunch of people, and you get stuck, and you just, okay, so what else can I choose now? And the awareness will come back in, so just always allow yourself to work with your awareness. And also, once you make a choice, like we said before, and it felt completely congruent with what you want to create, and maybe the day after it doesn't, well, then choose something else, right? Don't fall into, oh, I've ordered this kind of car now, and I don't like the color 2 days later. Well, maybe I can still change it, right?
Can I bring this interesting thing? You see this, if you look in our world, physical world, you are not alone in physical world. You are not just creating, you are co-creating all the time. It's a relational thing. And this question coming up when you're aware of your choices, when you are choosing, when you recognize I am creator of each my moment, everything I'm creating, you see it as your creation. You want to co-create at that moment. So how to stay in that creation and not to get involved into serving those who are still coming to that realization, I am creator, but co-create with them, co-create with them. Even in your work, in your day-to-day life, we go out and we see people who are completely asleep. And at some point they become your neighbor or become your person that you are communicating or doing something with. So in my vision, it's very important not to go like you, Martina, already brought into that victimhood and serve that their awakening or whatever, still being in your joy of co-creation and still allowing yourself go away from some situations, just with your smile, with the best wishes and all possible assistance to everyone from any layer that can assist, but still allow yourself go away. And in this case, with who you are co-creating, how to bring that energy more in your life to co-create.
So that brings us back to non-judgment. Yeah, because judgment would bring us into the judgment is the right and wrong. And what if there is no such thing as right and wrong? Because we will only know once we've chosen it. This is the other thing. You can't choose something and know the outcome. You cannot choose something and know the outcome. First of all, you can't be attached to the outcome anyway. We know all that, yeah? But you actually, and this is a really important point about choice, right? And this is why I'm talking about the edge of unknowingness. You will only become aware of the possibilities once you've chosen something, right? Because choice opens up the possibilities. And what does that mean? That's not a doing as such. That's just, let me choose this energetically. I don't even know, it makes no sense, right? Might make no sense. Let me choose that and then see what that looks like. What are the possibilities that are coming in through the choice that you've made purely sitting here right now? So it's like, what choice can I make regardless of how it turns out? What can we choose today? We all have our own businesses, or we're working along those lines, or we're working, we're creators, we're compulsive creators. So what else can we create that we haven't considered possible yet?
It's a very nice question. Very nice. Yes, let's share. What would you choose today if you have equal co-creator? What would you create now? What would you choose now? Thank you.
Yeah. And then sometimes you don't even get, you might just get an energy, right? And I keep asking it, allow, as we said before, allow the question to become your mantra. Now, the question I've been asking, I think I said early on, what can I be and do different to create what I desire? And I don't even know what I desire.
This is a question. This is a question.
Joy. Money, yes. Success, yes. All of that. Joy. Everything is, for me, is now joy, because everything is accumulated in joy. Yeah. So what can I, but this is a very, very powerful access question, if I may say so. Yeah. What can I be and do different? And this is it's not grammatically incorrect. What is not differently. We don't want to do things differently. We want to do something different, totally different energy. This is like, what can I add to my life? Now I've started asking this question, and I have to write things down, because I ask so many bloody questions. I make so many choices, and then I do not acknowledge what those choices that I make actually create. So be aware of that, how many choices you make a day purely by either asking the question, say, oh, I'd like that. That would be nice to have. Oh, I wonder what it's going to take, la, la, la. And then you actualize it, you bring it into matter, into your reality. You're not even acknowledging it, that you've actually asked for it. It's a very good exercise. Acknowledge what you've asked for, acknowledge what you're choosing. So going back, what can I be and do different in order to create more joy? That's my question. Very simple. What I did, which I would have never acknowledged it if I wouldn't have started writing it down, I put my headphones on and listened to music. Just like that. I was doodling. It sounds like nothing, but I don't do that. I only use music when I dance, or when I, use a meditation. I use it specifically for something, specifically with the doing as such. Yeah, I was doodling, but I've just sitting there and enjoying the music. Lots of people do that. It's nothing funky for them, but I have not done that. And I only realized that I'm like, oh my God, what am I being and doing different? Jeez, I've never done that before. Yeah, it's that simple stuff. But keep asking the question, what am I being? What can I be and do different to create more joy? And then just see what comes up. And all of a sudden you might be eating something that you haven't eaten before. You might be doing or being something or talking to somebody that you haven't done before. And you can obviously, whatever you're working, what can I be into different in order to create more money? You can be different in order to create a relationship or a better relationship, or God knows what. Choice. Question creates choice. Possibilities are coming in. And then you choose again. And then choose again and again and again. Because choice is consciousness. Consciousness expresses itself through choice. If you stop choosing, you go into victim. Oh, it's not my purpose, it's not my destiny. It's your fucking purpose to choose what your purpose is, right? That's what the purpose is. Your purpose is to choose your purpose. And how do you know when it is your purpose? When you feel good about it, that you've chosen it. And that creates more. So you follow the path of lightness. Feels light. Lana is saying, I did that last night on YouTube. Just listen to music, one song after the next, using choice of which one to listen to. Next. Yeah. Fantastic. And you know, it's not like, whoa, we need to wait for something that is completely out of the ordinary and wacky and weird. And no, it could be just that. But in the acknowledgement of the choice that has created the results and the awareness and the possibilities, we are inviting more of that in. We are sending out the vibration, the frequency, the harmony. Our signature frequency is perpetual chooser. Bring it on. Bring it on. That's why we're here. To live. That's life. To choose experiences. The good ones, the bad ones, the ugly, the sad ones, all of them. And the bad ones, oh, you have so many ideas, tools, techniques now to reframe them. I don't think I've had one experience that actually, okay, so this is a question. If you kick the bucket tomorrow, yeah, would you regret, and what would you regret? Would you regret something? Yeah, if you have no answer to that, then you're doing okay. It's okay what you're choosing. Literally, I could not, and I've been through a lot of shit in my life. And I know I could choose more, but I don't regret anything. I don't understand when people say, oh, I should have done this, I should have done that. And it's okay. It's not a judgment. If you have lived your life with in a no choice universe until now, then what's it going to take for you to choose now? Anything that doesn't allow that can be destroyed and uncreated. And God, please choose for you and as you, not for other people's realities, especially the ones with kids here. Yeah. They've come in, they've chosen you to choose for yourself. They don't need you to choose for them. Empower them so that they can make their own choices. Show them, teach them, be the example for them what choice means. Doesn't matter how old they are. They don't even need to be verbal at the time. What would you like to choose here? Not from a place of letting them, become the doormat or anything. No, there is a discipline is part of the choice here as the mother, as the parent, as the father. But teach them that they have a choice. Teach them there is no limitation in what they can achieve. I mean, when you get stuck with something, especially with the youngsters, you just, what would you like to choose? It's like, what? And they know it. They give you lots of choice. They have ideas. If we haven't, beaten it out of them yet, it's just us who had those choices beaten out. We have to work a little bit harder at it, So acknowledging, yeah, what you are creating, acknowledging the level of awareness, acknowledging the possibilities that have come through those choices that you've made. And really, there's so many choices you make on a daily basis. That would be a fun exercise, just to, count all the choices that you make. Write them down and then see what they create. They're like little seeds. Every choice is a little seed, right? So what is the choice of being on this Zoom going to create? Again, no answer to that, just awareness.
And I like this, this pontification around awareness, right? Where we can say, oh, wait a minute, here's all of these seeds of choice, and where are they going to go? Because you go down that certain pathway. Think of that like Robert Frost's poem, two paths diverged in the woods. Like, which path did you take? You were talking about working in tech and leaving a job that you didn't like, and how long it took, right? And I think probably some of us have that same experience. When I made that choice to be a full-time healer, right, all of these energetic doorways opened for me, right? It was almost like all these Archangel Metatron came in and started teaching me, and all of these clients started showing up, and I started doing much more of my own healing. So, that was an important choice point in my life, right? And like you were saying, it felt right. It felt in alignment.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Yeah, for me, I love the mystery behind it.
Mm-hmm.
I love the mystery. Like, what is it? It's like what's that? What do we have as a kid with the Jack? Oh my goodness, I'm sorry. Had the prize in it with the popcorn, with the caramel popcorn. I forget what that was called. The Cracker Jack. Yeah. So you couldn't wait to see the prize in there. It was like a mystery. It was wrapped in mystery paper. And it was like, that's how it feels right now, that I'm really into the mystery or mystical parts of choice.
Love that.
If that makes sense. Yeah.
Love that. Love that. Embodied spirituality. Yeah. Mystery. Nothing mystical in a mystery. All starts with a choice, right? Starts with a question and the choice.
And then, like you said, if something comes up, then, okay, there's another choice we can make. There's another potential. All these potentials.
Do give you another example? I mean, you've been on this journey with me, when AB asked me to come onto his shows 2 years ago or whenever that was. And I thought, joking, not doing this. Why? What is this, right? He asked me again. I thought, okay, let me choose it, right? Not thinking what it would create. Now, what has it created? It has created me obviously being, allowing myself, my voice to be heard, having some fun with him whilst we're doing it. We've created a whole fucking book through it. Yeah. And I've created Earth Nouveau, with you guys. So what was the question? What is the choice of being? Yeah, thank you. Yeah, what is the choice? Yeah, you acknowledge it. What's the choice of, choosing to say yes to this corporation at the time? My God, look at what it has created, and it hasn't even stopped yet. So what else can I create through this? The momentum and stuff like that. Yeah, I didn't know at the time, but that is the mystery. I like that, Amy. This is saying yes, choosing for you and as you. It's really, that makes a lot of difference. What can I choose today? No. What can I choose for me and as me? What does it mean? Is it really congruent with what I want to create? And again, I don't necessarily need to know what that is. It just needs to feel congruent, authentic. Is this my truth? There's like my partner, he's working overseas. When he comes, he's here at the moment and he's here for a month. I choose for him when I go shopping, right? Because I wouldn't buy the shit that I buy now because I know he likes it. Now that's a choice. And there was a time, because this has been going on for some time now, that I started eating stuff that I don't actually like. I mean, I can eat anything. I'm a bit like a pig, you know, it doesn't really, I'm not. But then I realized thinking, oh, actually, did I eat this for me? Did I choose this for me and as me? No, I chose it because it was easy. Otherwise I need to cook 3 things, right? Now I don't do this anymore. I choose to buy what I know that he and Emma like and stuff, but I also choose stuff that I like, right? Totally different energy now. It's like, cool, I'm doing it because I love him, of course. Yeah, why would I not do it, you know? But I forgot to choose for me and as me because I chose somebody else's reality. That's not a compromise. Yeah, I don't see this as a compromise. I see this now as a true choice. Yeah, it's not a compromise. I choose it because for him, because I like to choose it for him, and I also choose it for me. So it's always, what can I add to my life? Don't go into reduction and limitation. What do I need to eliminate? What do I not do because it confronts other people's universes and realities? No, fuck that. What can I add? What can we add in allowance of everyone's choices? I don't say you can't eat this just because I don't like it. I said, no, you eat that. And if I'm, you know, if I choose to cook it, I'll cook it. If not, you choose it by yourself. Yeah. So that always creates more. These are choices that create more, not less. So compromise, that would be creating less. No. Yeah, there's another question. I've just, what choice is going to create something greater for me? Again, that's a bit of a mystic. It's like, oh, I'm not quite sure what that is. Choosing something greater for me.
I think the choice of being our authentic selves, right, on a day-to-day basis, right, is sometimes a difficult choice because of, you know, pressures, all kinds of societal pressures, and, you know, getting rid of that out of our energy fields and saying, no, I'm just gonna do me, right?
Do me, yeah.
Making that choice, right? I think we were talking about earlier, people who come into our lives, whether they're our neighbors or, you know, someone walking by or a client, right, who's not awake, right? And just by being your authentic self, right, that choice has a ripple effect, right? Working like the pebble in the pond, rippling out around you, giving other people permission to make that choice as well, I think.
And you know, Tanya, what I'd like to add to this, actually, it's like when you are embodying choice, yeah? So you're allowing yourself to choose no matter what. When you then meet somebody who is limiting their choices, yeah? It's almost like interesting. It's like, oh, wow. It's like, oh my God, you still choose that. That's amazing. Not from a judgment place, because it's got nothing to do with you. Your coffee cup is so full, yeah? You can actually look at him thinking, wow, interesting choice, right? And it's almost like there is no judgment. There is no looking down on them. There's like there is a coming together on a level of choice, right? You are honoring, it's an honoring of their choice. And you can only honor other people's choices when you allow yourself to be in choice, right? Because otherwise you go into resentment. Oh, why are you fucking choosing this? And I'm not, victimhood, la, la, la. And also the other thing, let's go back to receiving. When you judge other people's choices, you cannot receive from them. So take money again. Money is such an amazing, because everybody's got issues with money, right? And if people say they don't, they're lying, because money is just one of those energies. Money and sex is great, yeah, we're all there. So if you have a judgment about what people choose with money, like let's say making shitloads of money, right? And we're judging them. Well, whatever you judge, you cannot choose. Let me say this again. Whatever you judge, you cannot choose. The people that are judging other people for making good money, enjoying making it, are those that have no money, because judgment takes you out of choice. Whatever you judge in others, you cannot choose for yourself. So judgment, no judgment. Can't do it. Every time you resist, react, align, agree as well. Again, let's say this. The positive judgment is still a judgment, right? Because when we say, oh, this, I use the guy, to relate the guy, I think, it's like, oh, this is the man for me. That's it, right? Positive judgment. It limits the possibilities for you to see where this person is actually not totally in harmony with what you want to create. It blindsides you. It limits your choices. And we just don't need to do that anymore. You can choose it, obviously. And hey, I'll probably choose it enough myself still, but this is why this kind of conversation is good. And that's why it came up, because this never gets old, yeah? And the more we do this work, the more awareness comes in, the more choices we have to make. And once we get to that stage where we embody the choice, the choosing, it just comes automatically. All the energies that we start embodying, we don't have to really practice, but it's that process of practicing. And again, let's go back. Question, choice. What can I choose? For me, as me, all of that good stuff. Let me see if we got one more question here or any. Oh, yes, now. Hesitation. Oh, and then Lana, we need to talk to you. Is she still here? Yeah. About what you said about AB's choice. Talking about hesitation and doubt. Yeah. Very much. The hesitation, doubt is a bit. It's a sort of a form of judgment, right? Where the more you hesitate, the more you take yourself out of the possibilities of what you could be choosing, that could be creating possibilities that you've never considered possible. Yeah. But I want to look at the benefit of doubt. There's a benefit for me. There's a benefit of doubt, and there's a play with that idiom, beyond the benefit of doubt, or whatever that is. There's a benefit in doubt in my world. And that is, first of all, acknowledging that everything is growing, everything is changing, everything is evolving. And if I don't have a single ounce of doubt, then I'd be in conclusion, right? And I'd be lying to myself, because I don't know everything. Doubt for me, all I'm saying is, allow yourself the possibility to reframe that hesitation and doubt. It's not a wrongness when you go into hesitation and doubt. What if going into hesitation and doubt is actually a strongness rather than a wrongness? Because what follows from that? Well, the question, right? If you're hesitant to choose something, well, there's probably another choice out there. So the benefit of doubt allows you to ask another question, right? And gives you more choices. If you're continuously like, we know what you mean, I mean, you know what I mean, the difference. But
Yeah, I
Yeah.
just saw when you were explaining it, you were doing this, and then you said, if I didn't have doubt, I saw it go like another branch, like it branches off. I don't know. I just saw that visual when you were talking, where it just keeps it open,
Yeah.
the doubt. Yeah.
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 No, I don't know why. I just had to
But
say
again,
that.
that's choice, guys. This is, again, don't conclude just because somebody says, oh, you can never hesitate and never doubt. Well, it's a choice. It's really a choice, the way you want to perceive things, the way you want to reframe stuff, the way you want to look at it. And every word is an energy. It's like I said before, if you perceive the comfort zone, it works for you, but all means choose it. Yeah. If you perceive compromise works for you, by all means choose it. Just doesn't work in my world. It might work next week, I don't know, but at this time I don't choose it. And I have been continually not choosing it, because this has been coming up every time I hear a compromise. Forever I've said, I do not compromise. The thing is, the energy has changed. In the beginning, it was like, rebel, fuck you, I'm not doing what you say. I'm not compromising. But that was me many, many years ago, Now it's not, oh, no, it's limiting, we don't have to do it. There's another choice out there now, It's not the rebel anymore. It's the level of awareness and maturity. I'm talking a lot. So that's what I was going to mention. Now, Lana, are we already quite, Lana, let's take, do you want to say something to what you've been transcribing?
Yeah, I'm not going to read the whole thing because it becomes a little irrelevant. But there's just one line that he said that the question was asked about choice, and what he said was that that's the uniqueness of that's where we're at right now. This awakening is all about choice. So that's really what he was trying to say. And then he went in to talk about when you see people marching in the streets and stuff like that in the 60s and 70s, and a few different things. But the main thing that he said was choice. That's the uniqueness of what where we're at right now. This awakening is all about choice. Choice.
Thank you, Lana. To reinforce that, because we did mention that before. It's like, we are so conditioned. I don't want to say conditioned. I think we're all on this path of an awakening, right? That we sometimes, speak for myself, that I sometimes forget that other people don't have to choose that, right? I thought in the beginning, everyone was choosing that. This is how everyone is going, right? And then I remember him saying assumptions, no. Not everyone is choosing this. There's an elite group out there without hierarchy, and you are one of those. I was like, oh shit, I didn't realize that. Yeah, choice. Sorry, Lana, come back.
When you were talking about the whole choice thing, it took me back to one of the first radio shows that he did, where he talked about someone had asked him a question about the galaxy and the prime creators and things like that, and it brought back the thought of the prime creator of this galaxy. To me, made a choice, and his choice was to get involved with the other two galaxies into getting into the war concept. And after he made that choice, he realized, oh shit, I made a wrong choice.
Yes.
And I don't think a lot of people know this part of the history, that the choice that the prime creator made was the first mistake of the prime creator.
Absolutely. That's why they need to read the book.
Mm-hmm.
They think, the prime creator is infallible. No,
right.
Just choosing. Just choosing. And I realized, oh shit, that didn't work out. Let's do something else, right?
Yeah, so he made that choice, and this is where we're at right now, 54 million years later.
Yeah.
We're trying to resolve that choice that he made.
That's a beautiful point you're making here. I like
Yeah.
that. Do you
So
know that?
even the prime creator can make a choice that it's realize after he's made the choice, oh shit, it's the wrong choice.
Or let's say that's the choice that created that. Now, that wasn't necessarily what I desired here. So let's see what we can choose now that creates something greater, right? And considering that we're all fractals of the prime creator, we're all part of that choice that has been done 54 million years ago. And we're still
In remedy and
still
resolve.
unraveling that fucking choice that we did then, right?
Yeah.
You know, there's this movie, Keep Swimming. You know, the fish keeps swimming. So keep choosing. Right?
Well, I think of the frog in the milk that kept choosing to go round and round and round and round until the milk became butter.
Mm-hmm.
And then he was able, his choice became what he was,
His
the
way out.
result,
Yeah.
so he can jump right out
Yeah.
and save himself and say to his friends, yeah, guys, you all can do this too. You just got to make the choice not to die.
Well, that's a choice too, guys. It's just a choice, long-term agenda, right? So no judgment there. You want to choose that? By all means, just let us know so we won't miss you on the next Zoom. Just a choice, no judgment. So I'm going to.
You were saying that when Andrew asked you to do the shows with him, and your first choice was no, I'm not. But then your second choice was okay, I'll give it a chance. And look where we're at now. If you had not made that choice, we would not have known you. None of us here, I can safely say.
That would have been. Absolutely.
Yeah. So that choice you made is a really a wonderful choice, because now we can all say hi to each other on the Zoom calls, and we are all getting to know each other every week that we get on the calls. So that's a wonderful choice that you've made that ricocheted into something even greater. And it's a part of resolving the prime creator's first mistake. Yeah.
It is. And
hopefully he's listening.
as we make choices along the way, the path, our purpose becomes clearer and clearer, through the experiences that we are creating through the choices that we're making. And I am a connector. I never saw myself as a connector. When I did the networking of that, I can't be bothered. I am a connector. I'm a multi-dimensional connector. I'll bring people together. But the difference is I bring people together who want to be brought together. I'm too brutal is not the right word. I'm not interested in, I work with the creme de la creme, like you guys.
Connecting
I want to really, acknowledge that, and I want to show my gratitude, as I always do, for you choosing to show up on a weekly basis. Yeah. You're really a consistent crowd here, and you take no prisoners. You're ready to do the work. You're ready to choose, and we have great conversations every week, and that's why I keep choosing it. Yeah.
It's a choice to every week to make the time to come and be here every week.
I know.
Because,
you come
for example,
for some it's early in the morning, and I know.
For example, for me, it's like in the middle of the day. I could be doing a lot of things with my time, but I'm always making that choice to be here.
Mhm. And we are grateful for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank
So I'm
you
gonna-
for
Mhm.
opening the space for
It is my
us
pleasure.
to be
It is
here.
my purpose. It is my destiny. So let's see what else is possible here. What else can we choose that we haven't considered possible yet? Okay, so I'm going to leave you with that question. What else can we add to our lives? What else can we choose that we have not considered possible? We want to go beyond the edge of unknowingness. And even if just a very mundane shit comes in, that's fine too, right? Just something that we haven't added yet to our lives. What choice can you make that will create something that you haven't considered possible? And on that note, I'm gonna leave and love you, and the usual, gonna put up the recording and make your lovely comments and spread the word and share, and maybe we get some other creme de la creme peeps on who want to share that amazing space with us. It's just a choice, right? Okay, guys, have a good one. Yeah,
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Martina.
Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye.